God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat.
2015, through Chief Willie Obiano up the leadership board of the very few governors in Nigeria whose great achievements in governance translate to greater life among the citizens of their states. This position is made obvious by his legacies as they manifest in his developmental programs and policies. The facts speak for themselves. One undeniable fact is that Ndi Anambra now enjoy peaceful atmosphere as promised by Governor Willie Obiano. This accounts for the sharp rise in economic and social activities witnessed in the state.
I opened this place now, this time, because of the government seriousness on security issues. Before now, a lot of issues have happened over security, lapses, kidnaps, armed robbery. But recently, since the inception of Obiano's administration, his security, nightlife, and I said, okay, let us key into this program and see how it could improve the face of Anambra State, particularly creating a nice environment where people can go out and come in freely without any harassment or any fears of any security breach.
The highly trained, equipped, and motivated Operation Ochapu, set up by Governor Willie Obiano, a task force which comprises all relevant security outfits in the state, including the community vigilantes, has succeeded in ridding Anambra of criminal elements and hoodlums. And today, Anambra is unarguably adjudged to be the safest state in Nigeria. Conscious of the relevance of interstate collaboration in crime fighting, Chief Willie Obiano rallied his fellow governors in the Southeast and Delta State to a historic groundbreaking security conference which set up the ultimate stage for a vibrant economic agenda for the entire region.
This may well be our finest hour as a people, the turning point in our march to greatness that must tip the scale of progress in favor of our people. I say this with every sense of responsibility because recent experience has shown that living in an increasingly dangerous world, the only panacea for economic growth and development is a safe and secured environment. We have driven away kidnappers, armed robbers, and drug barons out of our cities and communities.
The summit worked out a functional roadmap that will ensure the liberation of the Southeast and Delta region from the stranglehold of the different hues of criminals who have hitherto stunted economic growth of the zone for decades.
I think that it is very, very welcoming that he has invited us to this summit because I know that in combating crime we need to talk together. I know that we need to discuss our problems, and that is why it's very, very important that we actually take this summit very seriously.
Not until we put our hands together, this canker of crime will battle down our desire and enthusiasm to liberate ourselves economically. In the past few weeks, we've been pursuing an agenda that will seem to underline those things that bring us together economically. As this conference is most welcome, Abia State will benefit from it, and we hope that we will take home a few strategies that will enable us to do better in what we have planned to secure our people and their properties.
Further giving credence to Chief Obiano's stern move against criminality was the attendance of the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arese, who was also the chairman of the colloquium, the DG of DSS, Lawal Daura, and other top security officers in the country.
The uniqueness of this conference lies in the appreciation of the need to pull resources together and provoke a meaningful engagement among strategic political and security stakeholders with a view to jointly addressing a common security problem that is peculiar to the region and the contiguous states.
Politicians, traditional rulers and community elders, local government officials and the youth were not left out as they all graced the occasion in support of His Excellency's fight against crime.
This I do in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Earlier in 2015, Willie Obiano donated a gunboat to the Nigerian Navy outpost in Onitsha so that the Navy will be better equipped to tackle the menace of criminals who use the water channels in the state to carry out their nefarious activities. To further boost security in the state during the 2015 Yuletide season, Governor Obiano, in a well-attended ceremony, donated 25 new specially equipped crime-fighting vehicles. Also given were special kits to the police response teams. In addition, he also issued them speed guns and alcohol detecting devices to ensure drivers adhere to proper driving ethics. The governor also employed the use of a helicopter from the Nigeria Police for the aerial surveillance of the state. As it flies over the skies of Anambra, the people are overwhelmed with the newfound sense of security in the state.
The helicopter is deployed to Awka in Anambra State so that on a daily basis, carry out aerial patrols, go overhead the major towns and the suburbs of the main towns and see what the activities going on around. And with a very good air-to-ground communication link, we're able to see from 500, 1,000 feet above ground and communicate with the men on the ground. It's a good thing because we're enjoying the immense support of the Executive Governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Dr. Willie Obiano. And the IGs, the IGP is hoping that all the other state governors can emulate his magnanimity and provide support as well so that these helicopters can really do the job they are meant to do.
Governor Willie Obiano's desire to create a befitting state capital for Anambra is materializing through the newly created Awka Capital Territory Development Authority, ACTDA.
So the mandate is to produce a master plan for the territory, produce infrastructure within the territory, implement the master plan within the territory, and control development within the Awka Capital Territory.
Anambra is the second state in Nigeria to successfully conclude area mapping of its state capital. This has given ACTDA all information required to map out new precincts to create a modern state capital.
It's a great thing that happened to this state because the area photography is a process where the territory was captured in a photo form with a high resolution of 10 centimeters. And what this means is that the area photography will enable Awka Capital Territory Development Authority to generate the design, the master plan for the Awka Capital. That's just the minimal thing that we can use it to do. The area photography enables the government to move into the next stage, which is geographic information system, which is mostly used in land management. We are going to develop this city based on what we call multi-nuclear concept. This means it's not going to be a concentric city where you have only one center where everything is happening there. No, we thought that we would develop different precincts which would form nucleus, at least 4 of it. And so we call the multi-nuclear concept with the center or the core being the old Awka.
To ease the heavy traffic along the Awka-Enugu Highway, Governor Obiano started 3 flyovers, one at the famous Aroma Junction, one at Kwata Junction, and the third at the Amobe intersection. 2 of the flyovers are partially open to traffic to accommodate the heavy influx of holidaymakers expected during the Yuletide season. Changing the skyline of Awka, the twin towers of the new iconic Aroma Bridge sparkle to life at night, spraying its dazzling rays into the dusk skies. Awka, the Anambra State capital, will never be the same.
Awka is now becoming actually a capital city, a core capital city. In fact, not just bridges, beautiful bridges. At least you're coming into Awka now, you have a feeling that you are coming into a city of a state, the capital of a state, unlike what we used to see. And it gives people some confidence, at least that something is happening.
Meanwhile, the state's new administrative conclave, the 3-arm zone, is vigorously under construction. Seeing himself as the CEO of the state and its chief marketing officer, Governor Obiano stormed the Lagos lecture circuit and delivered an outstanding lecture titled Sustaining the Legacy of Growth and Development in Anambra State at the Distinguished Lecture Series of the School of Media and Communication, Pan-Atlantic University. In the lecture, Governor Obiano sought to elevate conversations around the investment potentials of Anambra State. In the same vein, Governor Willie Obiano paid a visit to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Addressing the floor, Governor Obiano said he thought it was time to take his investment drive to the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange in Lagos. In continuation of Governor Obiano's aggressive drive to attract investment into the state, he paid a courtesy call on the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Gu Xiaojin, at the Chinese Embassy, Abuja, where discussions focused on possible areas of partnership between the People's Republic of China and the Anambra State government. Agriculture, waste management, trade and commerce, oil and gas, housing, among other sectors, were extensively discussed. Earlier in 2015, Governor Obiano received the Trade Investment Delegation from Thailand, the highest trade delegation to visit Anambra State. They came, they saw, and agreed to promote bilateral relationship with the state government and industrialists in the state. The creation of ANSIPA by Governor Obiano is a masterstroke. It has inevitably become the vehicle that is piloting His Excellency's economic blueprint.
His Excellency, every day he wakes up, he dreams and thoughts investment, because that's the only way he can create GDP. That's the only way he can create wealth. That's the only way you can create job for the youth. Take the youth off the street. So his vision, his dreams about investment in the next 2 years is probably to triple where we are today.
ANSIPA consolidates the 4 pillars of development and revamps quite a number of enablers. It gives a boost to wealth creation, youth employment, and economic empowerment.
The common denominator of all the investment that His Excellency has attracted to Anambra is job, job, job. Despite the gestation of investment, which takes average of 18 months, at full implementations, the job potential of all investments so far attracted by His Excellency is totaling well over 300,000. And this is demonstrated by the way His Excellency has structured all the investment coming.
ANSIPA has attracted $2.4 billion direct foreign and local investments into the state.
About 60 to 70% of all investment were championed or midwife by indigenes of Anambra. What does this say? They have now developed unalloyed confidence in the administration of His Excellency Willie Obiano. They believe he has given the enabling environment, he has given the friendliness of the enablers to be able to bring all those investments. Hitherto, he wouldn't even think of coming to invest in Anambra because he will not have the security to do that. but His Excellency has made those things possible.
Agriculture in Anambra State has never received as much attention as it does in recent times. Obiano's new agricultural revolution, with great emphasis on mechanized farming, is a paradigm shift in policy. This administration, by creating an enabling environment and with the right policies, has successfully re-engineered agro-business. It has attracted into the state highly mechanized agro-ventures.
Been able to attract various multinationals and interested companies that will come into the state to bring agri production into the state. We've got companies of like Joseph Agro. We've got the Linden Groups Linden Group deals with poultry. We've got Cost Farms, who's got over 2,500 hectares and above. We've got Excel Farms, we've got Songhai Farms, and a whole lot of other interests coming into the state to get into the real agriculture.
This is also in addition to encouraging the creation of cooperative farmers clusters throughout the state and supporting them to thrive. To ensure and maintain the quality of produce in the state government has set up a sophisticated quality control lab in Awka. Cost Cheris Farms, in collaborating with the state government, has established a 3,000-hectare rice farm in Anako, Ayamelum local government. This is in addition to Cost Cheris Farms' 120,000 metric ton rice mill coming up in the near future. This farm in 2015 recorded its first harvest and is conceived as a complete value chain project, from cultivation through processing to marketing. It is a realization of Governor Obiano's intent of collaborating with the private sector in driving his agricultural revolution.
This type of farms which you will be seeing in a number of states. It's a type of farm which you used to see in some major developed countries. So we are bringing the best of that technology to a number of states, so that we can, this rice cultivation yield can be increased.
Joseph Agro is cultivating 10,000 hectares of rice farmland, also in Ayamelum. It will facilitate the milling of increased rice production in the state by resuscitating the Omo rice mill, increasing its capacity from 18,000 to 150,000 metric tons production a day. Excel Farms is establishing a $100 million 2,000-hectare farmland for the cultivation of tomato and cassava in Umueje, to be built as a complete value chain venture. It will house a processing plant for cassava and tomato paste production for export. It is expected that in the near future, Anambra produced rice will flood the market.
His Excellency also is very eager on us having a rice that we call Anambra State rice. We want to be able to put a stamp to this rice, and therefore on that vein he's funded a couple of small producing rice processing equipments, and we are installing them around the states, around the local governments. And ideally what we want to do is to be able to produce rice that we can chew without chewing stones. We want to be able to produce rice that we can call Anambra State rice.
Governor Obiano has kept faith with his promise to continue and complete, commission and commence new projects. Under his watch, all roads initiated by the previous administration are going on, while some have been completed and commissioned. In addition, Governor Obiano has introduced road furniture to all roads throughout the state.
I came into this administration through the platform of APGA. And the former governor that ruled this place for 8 years was then APGA, So it made sense to continue with all the projects. I don't believe in abandoned projects because I didn't start this project. Therefore, I must not do it. Let me go and do my own. No, it doesn't make sense. That's not how economies develop faster. So I continued. The forces actually means to continue, to complete, to commission, and of course commence new projects. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
The Obiano-led government has commenced the opening up of areas hitherto not connected to the rest of the state. These include roads that lead into Anambra's agrarian belt and oil and gas region. This is in a bid to give access to major markets. With the completion of this bridge over the Omambala River, the people in Aguleri to Ezeagulo and Enugu will be properly connected, no longer needing to use the river. It will also afford access to farmers, making the evacuation to larger markets easier. When completed, the road will provide a short link to Nsukka in Enugu State and Kogi States respectively.
I'm doing the longest road in Anambra, the one that starts from Aguleri North to the oil rig area with 2 bridges. The 2 bridges are almost 90% done, so I'm confident that I'll deliver on all those things I promised.
Determined to provide qualitative healthcare to Anambra, Governor Obiano has continued to provide the needed infrastructure to Anambra health institutions. The Onitsha General Hospital is now undergoing renovation to accommodate the state-of-the-art medical equipment ordered by the state government. New units with new structures have been introduced to the Onitsha General Hospital, which include a special isolation unit in case of any outbreak of communicable diseases. This special facility comes with an elevated helipad for quick transportation of patients when required.
We are including a lot of structures in the existing ones. Apart from rehabilitating the existing ones and making them state of the art, we also included the isolation ward, Center for the Tropical Disease Control. Now that we're having some diseases that have chances of spreading, we want to have some isolation ward that will take care of that. And in the same Onitsha, we have also introduced a helipad, a helicopter landing pad where emergencies can easily be flying at, people that may be taken to Lagos or other things.
Other health institutions in Umunze and Atani have been refurbished and ready to deliver qualitative health care. Chief Willie Obiano's partnering with an American healthcare firm, Rise Health Corporation, signifies the beginning of a historic healthcare re-engineering project that will usher in a new phase of excellent Medicare in the rural areas of the state. The partnership gave birth to the Anambra Business Coalition, ABC, that will manage the agreed health facilities. Urumba General Hospital, one of the 4 health institutions under the ABC, has been commissioned and is currently providing adequate health care to Anambra in Urumba North, South and environs.
Actually, this is implementation of His Excellency Chief Dr. Willie Obiano's blueprint, because from evidence-based, it is known that government alone cannot finance hospitals, and that's why I started going beyond government alone. We begin to involve private, and that's why I have a public-private partnership. So this is actually a kind of survey of what we get, what we call, we want to experiment on this, and I'm happy today that I've been able to get something like this.
Other facilities run by ABC include the Rice Clinic Adazi, Rice Clinic Onitsha, which are also operational, while the re-engineering of General Hospital Obaru will commence in 2016.
The coalition would focus on re-engineering of hospitals in the state, starting with 2 hospitals, 3 health systems, including this one in Anambra Central, and Osamala General Hospital in Obaru in the north, and Urumba General Hospital in the south. So we're hoping to use Rice Clinic as a model to re-engineer these 2 additional sites, and further down the road, we hope to use the model to implement it in other hospital systems in Anambra State as well, and create the reputation of Anambra State to be the center for healthcare across Nigeria.
Governor Obiano has continued to strengthen the education sector with the disbursement of 733 million naira for the renovation of Universal Basic Education Mission schools and has built over 1,000 classroom blocks for primary schools in the state.
So what he has done is that with the Catholic and Anglican missions, who we have handed over schools to, and we are co-managing the schools with them, it has continued to empower them to ensure that that alliance doesn't fail, that the partnership must continue to work. So what he has done is that for 2014-2015, he has given the sum of 733 million naira to the churches, 433 million to the Catholic Church, and 300 million to the Anglican Church, based on the number of schools each of the mission has. This is apart from the ones that are actually being taken on by ASUBEB. So you have them on a multiple basis, the ones that have been given over to the missions to do the renovation themselves, and the ones that are being done by the state government through the ASUBEB.
To maintain Anambra's top position in the sector, the state government is building the capacity of teachers. Vocational teachers were sponsored to Singapore for special training. This will sharpen their competence and overall ability to deliver on their jobs. In the same vein, teachers in the state have undergone modern computer appreciation to avail them with the modern ICT techniques as teaching tool. Teachers, like all civil servants in the state, have had their salaries increased, and those teaching in the hard-to-staff areas, as well as those teaching core sciences, are given additional bonuses as incentive.
The beauty of this is that teachers didn't need to ask for them to get an increment. By January this year, their salary was increased by 15%. And to add to that, we have the problem of attrition of teachers in the rural areas. This is the hard-to-staff areas where teachers hardly would want to stay because they are remote, they are hard to reach, and sometimes some of them are in the riverine areas. So to keep and retain teachers there, the government is paying every teacher, both primary and secondary school teachers that are there, 20% of their basic salary. That is in addition to their salary. So for us, a lot of teachers are getting excited. Some of them are even asking to go to those areas so that they can earn that money.
Governor Obiano believes that no child should be without basic education, especially the girl child. He has therefore concluded plans to build schools in the riverine areas of the state.
The issue of girl child education in the rural areas, riverine areas, a place like Ayamelum, where girls are almost not going to school. The same thing we did with migrant farmer school. I'm now taking the schools to them, so that schools are now closer. So we've given the first set of 30 schools that we are going to build will go to the villages of these students, unlike before, where they have to go for a longer distance. That's the structure we are running for farmers too. We are taking schools to them, so that while they are working, their children can go to school.
We have our strategic objective that we will ensure that the learning needs of all are met through equitable distribution of resources, and ensure that we are one of the 3 top states with the lowest illiteracy rate.
Recognizing his efforts in the education sector, Governor Willie Obiano won the Most Primary Education-Friendly Governor of the Year 2015 award. Governor Obiano outshone other governors in the Federation to clinch the award, which was conferred on him recently by the Association of Primary School Head Teachers of Nigeria. The state government has continued to invest resources in creating an enabling environment that is boosting trade and commerce in the state. Existing markets throughout the state have been upgraded and have been installed with CCTVs for added security and surveillance.
And that has reduced pickpockets to almost zero. You know, because there's this saying that if you touch somebody's bag or pick somebody's pocket, the governor will see you and you'll be picked up. So that's great, you know, and it's working. And we intend to do so for all our markets.
The first phase of the Oba International Market is complete, while the 3 mega shopping malls are still under construction. These are in Awka, Nnewi, and Onitsha.
Most of the spaces have been sold out or let out there, and that's a real good indicator that people are very, very interested in that place. People understand that business is dynamic, and the way you do business is also dynamic. And this is also part of the 4 C's, you know, His Excellency, because the project was started before this administration. But it's a success story.
In the industrial sector, the government is revamping the existing industrial clusters in the state. It has concluded plans to create more clusters and industrial parks in other parts of the state. To provide adequate electricity, private investors are collaborating with the government to build gas-to-power plants using gas produced by Orient Petroleum.
Anambra is blessed with oil. We have oil reserves, we have gas reserves, which have not really been tapped. Orient Petroleum has been doing its best to try and see how much you can do in terms of increasing their productivity. But we haven't even tapped our gas. And those are areas that we can tap, and these are things that can fuel any power project.
To complement Anambra's budding auto industry, the state government has attracted interested investors in setting up auto industries which will assemble and produce various automobiles, including mechanized farm implements, light and heavy trucks, and other ancillary machinery components. Desirous of providing clean potable water to Anambra, the governor has continued the rehabilitation and reactivation of the various water schemes all around the state. Those in the rural areas, especially riverine, are now enjoying clean water powered by a solar system. He has also ensured that Anambra has paid its EU counterpart funding fully and is willing to increase the state's quota to get more water projects from the Anambra.
The boreholes are done in rural areas to make sure that the people in the riverine areas, you know, they stop drinking the river water so that they will be able to take good potable water, you know, because you know, the issue of cholera and all that, you know, so these are the main reasons why we are getting that far in the rural areas, to make sure that they are well taken care of.
To ensure adequate power supply around the state, the governor is expanding the 33 kV line going to Anambra North. He has installed over 250 transformers in areas where they are needed. The environment forms an integral part of the key enablers in Governor Willie Obiano's economic agenda for Anambra State. This is in recognition of the role of the environment in the entire economy of life and the need to harness and preserve it. The governor is tackling erosion control head-on. The Import Junction Gully erosion menace, which occurred earlier in 2015, has been comfortably arrested. A stick-reinforced concrete barrier has been introduced and the road is now open to motorists. The 2.1 kilometer two-finger confluence erosion site in Abagana is also on the way, and it is hoped that this project will ensure the safety of life and property in the area.
Erosion in Anambra State is a very sensitive one, and Anambra State have been declared the headquarters of erosion in the whole world because we have the highest erosion problems in the state. And His Excellency is doing everything possible to address the issue of erosion with the little resources that Anambra has. He has also reached out to the Ecological Fund Office and the Federal Ministry of Environment to come to the aid of Anambra State. We are also looking at the erosion at Mpo, where the bridge was almost collapsed. The state government is tackling that, even though it's supposed to be a federal project. But because of the urgency of the problem, the state government have decided to use little resources to do a palliative measure there before we wait for the interventions from either the federal government or the ecological fund. And also we are doing another erosion in Aba, Ghana, where the new map, the project of the World Bank, is handling another big erosion site. And if you go there, you can see that work is going on there seriously, because we want to see what we can do in the shortest time to address the erosion problem in that community, which have divided the community into two.
To meet the employment needs of the coming agro-allied concerns and industries in the oil and gas sectors, the government has trained over 1,000 youth in modern techniques in agriculture, aquaculture, and automobile engineering. Complementing Governor Willie Obiano's Youth Empowerment Program, Chief Mrs. Ebelechuku Obiano Osudieme, wife of the Governor of Anambra State, has continued to impact positively on the lives of the needy. She also champions the rescue of the mentally sick and education of children in special schools. She also empowers indigent widows and young women in Anambra. Through her foundation, Caring Family Enhancement Initiative Cafe, well over 200 women in various vocations, hairdressing, beauty therapy and cosmetology, confectionaries, tailoring and fashion designing, and soap making have been trained and adequately equipped in its first empowerment scheme.
If we have that woman 2 or 3 in this state, in fact, this state will be called, it will be a great state. She's a great woman, and I just pray for God to give her life upon life. The woman has been helping the less privileged ones. Like when I went there, widows, that is if you see the kind of people she was training, she went into the village to collect those people that are nobody, and she made them somebody today. So I'm very happy, because I was there when she gave this truck keke to those that she trained under nursing, those she trained under catering. She gave them this standing oven with the cash attached to it, other things. So I saw so many things. I'm very happy. I've never seen this before.
The second phase of Cafe Skills program, comprising empowerment of 160 women, is currently on the way. This is in addition to soft loans granted widows who are eager to start small-scale businesses.
As she gathered us here, we are learning a lot from her. And for what we are learning, we will use it to grow. We use it to train our children. And we use it to reach our neighbors.
She's been a good mother indeed for organizing such a program. Because me, myself, I was looking for a place to go and learn this tailoring. Like people from the Liberia area, they don't have any help. People that are widow among us, single parents among us, those that their husband don't have money to afford for anything, those that their husband are handicapped are here. Some orphans are here that society don't even care who they are. But really, I don't know how to describe her, but what I call her often when I'm praying is she's a God sent to Anambra State women.
Highly worried and in a bid to reduce mother and child mortality, Mrs. Obiano periodically visits various hospitals and primary health centers, championing a campaign on the need for pregnant women to receive adequate antenatal care during pregnancy and deliver safely. Cafe has donated medical equipment to various healthcare institutions in the state. These include motorized labor and maternity beds for safe delivery of babies. Cafe has also provided prosthetic limbs to hundreds of Anambra who are physically challenged. It has also performed corrective surgeries on numerous children with cleft lips, saving them from the stigmatization of deformity. Cafe has also established a home for the mentally challenged in Nteje. It provides them free treatment and nurses them back to health. Also, DMS Foundation is concluding plans to build an old people's home to cater for the aged. CAFE has also continued to support various orphanages in the state through donation. In recognition of his overall achievements in such a short time in office, the editorial board of the Sun Publishing Limited named Chief Willie Obiano the Governor of the Year 2015.
A number of people are blessed to have a governor like Willie Obiano. He's a man that understands, has a vision for the state, where he wants to take the states, and also understands there are problems the state has. And these are obstacles that he must, tackle, to get to his vision.
When the governor came in, he had a vision and mission, and he's actually attacked and dealt with the mission and vision by developing the pillars and enablers. And these pillars and enablers that he has developed made a lot of developmental strides. He did that because he is an astute banker, he is a manager, and because of all this, his managerial acumen, he was able to manage the funds of Anambra State properly and adequately and put them in proper perspective where they will have effect in the development of Anambra State. And this had made him achieve so much that he had bagged several awards.
2015 was most informative in Chief Willie Obiano's sworn commitment to expanding the frontiers of good governance and entrenching sustainable development in Anambra State.
We're also ensuring that in our procurement processes, we follow the due process that enables us to drive value for money in our procurement processes. And then obviously, we are driving the IGR agenda too. And I'm glad to say that we are succeeding. We still have a long way to go. If we did all of that, I believe we should be able to carry on implementing the program, even in the era of dwindling resources. But I'm hoping that Anambra people would recognize the good work His Excellency is doing and support him by putting their money where their mouth is, i.e. by paying their taxes and other levies on time.
During the year, the governor's unwavering determination to harness the abundant human and material resources in Anambra State was most evident in the successes he recorded in taming criminality and maintaining a business-friendly environment. Chief Obiano's uncommon expertise in managing human and material resources saw 2015 as a glorious year for Anambra State and in the Anambra. These, despite the unpopular downturn in the national and state economies, which has left most states across Nigeria sprawling to keep afloat.
With all our hearts, we pray and ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better.